I'm Abyax Toycat, and welcome to my long-term survival world, and in it I have this shulker box filled with all of the sponges from all of the various monuments that I've raided. However, one monument is unlike all of the rest because I have drained it almost in its entirety. Now, the term almost has been true for a good 5 years in this Let's Play world. In fact, it's so visible that we can see it from the big map of my world, which is found just over there. And in this video, in this live stream, in this however you're watching it, I am going to be finishing this project, one of the oldest in my world. It is delightful to see that, and as you'll probably know by now, it comes accompanied with a couple of hours of discussion about life, the universe, and everything else in between. It's a lot of fun, but yeah, if you want to see the first point, it is this, my big map that shows off the entire world. It is a great way to look at everything that I've made, but also you can see this weird semicircle square over here. Don't ask too much about it. And in that, you can see that I've mostly drained my monument, but there's a little corner of blue that remains, a little corner of blue that I'll be fixing today. So let's fly over there now. So hello everybody, I am IBX Toycat, and we are at 395 members, just 5 away from hitting 400. Thank you to everyone who has been kind enough to jump into it. And yeah, let's slide right into everyone's favorite thing, which is this. As you can see, big old cube. So all of this endstone was eventually, the idea was to recreate like an end update by having on low render distances a place that looked like you were in a super flat end. How well that worked is up for debate, but in the middle of it is this big ocean monument which is surrounded by sand. We could replace it by glass, realistically, or even if we just have occasional columns of glass, it's something we could choose to do at cost to our torches, and so instead what we've done is slowly drained each little section, just like so. We've got the same distance from the monument on most sides, besides the back. I think I said most. No, most is a word. I was like, or so maybe I said moaf. The cross between most and both. Anyway, here you can see this is my left to drain section, and the problem is when you have sections this big, you can't actually drain them easily. If I place a sponge over here and a sponge over there, it will just immediately refill, or not immediately, but very close to immediately refill, meaning that I've wasted 2 valuable sponges on not actually changing anything. And so instead I like to section it into these little portions that look like this, and as long as you place sponges quickly in these, you can see very quickly that a lot of progress is made, which makes it just wonderful. And again, it's been years since I actually, you know, like first started draining this, but this looks like the time where we will finish it. A real success for me, a fun little monument for the Let's Play world. Also, Toycat finishing the draining of the ocean monument is a major recession indicator. You know, I hate to be the guy who, like, overanalyzes the simplest of internet memes. I feel like that's what we do too much over here. But can I take a second to analyze, like, you know, a lot of things, I actually see it as the opposite. Like, we are seeing a lot of things that we haven't seen in a very long time, right? And, you know, like, that could be a sign that everyone's like, well, things are about to be bad. Gotta collect some cash as quickly as possible. You could say, you know, that's the reason I went to the store today. And, oh, it's not just Dr. Pepper Cherry, it's Dr. Pepper Cherry Crush. It costs double as much as regular Dr. Pepper. There's also a Fanta Tutti Frutti. Everyone's trying to just invent something that is of interest to someone. Speaking of something of interest to someone, thank you, Playgoo!
Don't forget to pay your tax.
Thank you so much for paying the Toycat tax in the best way possible. By the way, I just killed a zombie while he was on fire, and he only dropped a regular potato, not a baked one. So we got a parity issue right there. One of the funniest parity issues, so I'm not gonna care too much, I guess. So let's now grab some sand, make some more sections, and then pick up all of the sponges that we have, so we can drop them back in there. Also, I'm here for the long. Oh, I edited my title to make a joke, and I forgot to fix it. Okay, you know, there we go. So, yeah, hello everyone, it's a Friday, and this is a chill stream. We played with the idea, and a few people have noticed, that we're playing with the idea of bringing back Igloo Core. My usual goal would be to wait until we had a video out, but, yeah, you know, my major recession indicator is how, yeah, at least, I think we're in a weird world. my version of that, right, is like certain, I can bring up my own, like, personal, you know, issues with, you know, people I work with or whatever. But I think the more interesting point is like, there's an interesting world where over the last couple of years, a lot of people basically moved to the formula of like, oh yeah, let's work out what's important and do more of that than working, right? I feel like everyone went into COVID and either went, oh yeah, heck yeah, my job pays me to do nothing all day. I'll be recreational. Or some people went in being like, oh, I have nothing to do but work all day. Guess I'll be working all day. I would say broadly speaking, I slid into the first and then the second, back and forth, in a weird way that was probably quite harmful. But yeah, basically, I think that like if you look at stuff like Black Mirror releasing a new season, I think that is an interesting sign of the times, right? Like they made a big point about like, yeah, we're just not gonna do episode. You know, the usual way that you get stuff that you want is you make a monetary incentive for doing so. This is like the way the world has worked forever, right? Like, how do you, if you want someone to mow your lawn, you don't say, I'm looking for someone who's passionate about mowing lawns. You know, someone who has you say, look, who wants some money and doesn't mind mowing lawns in exchange for getting it? But I feel like we've like kind of thrown that out the window, and now we're like, yeah, people just kind of do things on the basis they want until perhaps you could say a recession comes around and everyone's like, well, guess if I want to stay afloat, I've got to start doing things I don't want to for money. So why do they keep membership swapping me? Stop it, says Osmosis. What do you mean you're being membership swapped? If you get your own membership, it will never turn off. I mean, maybe unless your bank denies the charges. We used to have issues back in the early days of that. Like, that's an interesting sign that streaming has matured. In the earliest days, if you wanted to tip a streamer, there was like a 5% chance your bank would go, why are you giving £10 to checks note a person calling themselves a toy cat on the internet? That's not a legitimate charge. We're not letting you spend money on that. You'll thank us with the fraud prevention. Was kind of intense, if you ask me. Whereas now it's like, oh yeah, of course, spending, you know, ungodly amounts of money on toy kittens. Well, what you do on OnlyFans is up to you, I guess. You know, that's the difference, we might say. Imagine Minecraft didn't have a way to dry sponges. Imagine they were single-use. I could see, like, single-use sponges that were much more effective being good. But if they were their current level of usefulness, they would just not be used, I guess, is the actual answer. Probably. Okay, so I've got a sponge over there that I've got to do something to get. I don't know what that something is, but I'm going to try my best to do the something anyway, chat. Okay, so maybe if I jump from over here. No, I'm going to have to climb all the way up to the top of that. Okay, wait, what if I fly? No, I'm not making it anywhere close. I'm going to have to climb all the way up the ladder, then fly down, then do it again. But that's okay, we can live with that. So, iDubbbz released a new content club. In the time between this and the last one, I had 2 kids. Only 2 of the 14. That's yeah, I think it's a funny like comment, right? The idea that you can broadly tell like economic conditions from how creatives act. And I think you know, like whether you want to use Black Mirror, whether you want to use iDubbbz content cop, which, you know, I feel like we'll leave that to the side. But whatever you want to use as your indicator, it's like, yeah, actually, in the usual world, people like, you know, again, you don't have to be passionate about mowing a lawn, but a lot of content works on the basis of like, oh yeah, this is not just you know, or content creators, maybe we could say, to use the really generic broad term that means nothing. You know, like the XXX IBX Toy Kittens is also a content creator. My bank used to do that when I was doing it a few years back, says Playgoo. Yeah, we've moved on. We're in a whole new part of the digital economy now. But also, by the way, I have a Dr. Pepper can here. I'm gonna give it a try. I don't like Dr. Pepper, but so many people in my life act like it's the fourth coming of Christ. Like, man, you don't like. The only time I've had Dr. Pepper, I think like years ago, a dodgy older man handed it to me in a children's park with a little bit of liqueur inside of it. That was my last Dr. Pepper experience. He was the same older man who I think threatened to kill me in front of my friends. If you remember that story and where that one went. So, a little fun story, a little bit of Toy Cat lore for you right there. Anyway, My bank used to do that when I donate. Yeah, so I think it's an interesting thing that like creatives work on a different like, like kind of I guess there's a lot of people who work not on a financial accounting basis where money is, because let's be honest, money is perfectly fungible. That is to say, whether you spend $5 on a thing or, you know, it doesn't matter where money comes from. There's the same amount of money everywhere. But a lot of people work on like an emotional basis of money, which is to say that, you know, $4 for eggs is far too much, whereas, you know, like $55 for a, I don't know, a chipped, you know, chat, I returned a car today and they charged me £70 because there was a chip in the windscreen. And then they charged me like £13 because they weren't going to be able to use the car for some amount of time, which is like really reasonable. But then they're like, and then there's an administration fee for this, and that's going to be like another 75. And I was like, man, you can just make up numbers at that point, right? Like, who am I to decide what your administration fee should be? But yeah, so I think it's weird that like there are some things that are like cheap, you know, some things that are worth basically nothing that are cheap at $4, and some things at $4 where you're like, you know, world's gone to hell, can't even get eggs for this price, because again we have like emotional pricing for something. But a lot, you know, most people have emotional pricing only for spending. That is to say, what you spend at the grocery store. Oh, whoa, Dr. Pepper's interesting. Dr. Pepper Cherry is especially so. Well, it's been years. I like the Toy Cat Algeria lore I learned yesterday. Oh, just to be clear, a lot of people assume that I have to be Algerian to have Algerian family, but that is not true. I almost became American during the pandemic. I wouldn't, you can become as national, you know, whatever. There are ways, you know, riddle me this. If I almost became American, I would have had American family, right? And but I wouldn't become American. Like it wouldn't be like, oh, howdy, y'all, I just discovered. Was that the same car from the Andrew Andrews video? Yeah, actually, yeah, that one. I was like trying to work it out for a second there. Also, which way is back to the dry? I'm gonna guess it's this way. I'll break one of these first. Nope, there's water back there. But you know, water's great. It'll get me back up. I'll be sitting at my PC for the next 10 hours whilst you do this, says Robert Steele. Man, your time zones confuse me, but I'm happy. At 50 New Zealand cents an hour, I am the best value stream on the internet. And just so you know, chat, I've responded to Robert Steele right now. When it shows up in 5 seconds, you don't need to worry. You don't need to be like, oh no. But what if? It's chill. Also, real ones when the title said long-term survival. Race versus ethnicity versus culture. Let's go. Oh, but I'm literally going down the like, you know, like if my girlfriend were to marry me, she would have British family without being British, right? If my girlfriend were Algerian. Anyway, Pearl Girl is getting married. Congratulations, Pearl Girl! I'm excited for you. Monday's my birthday and I'll be a wifey again. Yeah, congratulations on the marriage. Very excited for you. Also, excited for the birthday. Your birthday's on the day after 420. That means that you are 24 hours removed from, you know, what we might describe as one of the, you know, not cool people of history. Don't look that one up. Also, yeah, I think there's a lot of ways to have family that are not directly related to you. That maybe should be obvious. Maybe should... No, they are obvious. I guess maybe only to me. I never realized, like, how... Like, when I was in school, I would think it was a bit crazy that some people are like, yeah, well, my family's from this town, and I'll be in this town until I die. It's like, that is a bleak view of life to have. That is a depressing, dark view on the human condition. But for some people, it's like, oh no, that's just how it is. Anyway, every married sub is cheating on Toy Cat. It's true. Playing on my long-term creative world right now, says Vartafelli. You know, power to you. As long as you care about it, you should play on the long-term world. That's right. Oh no, I need to get this. Come on, there we go. I did it. I got the sponge. I didn't forget about it for once. Doesn't Easter fall on 420 this year? Yeah! Also known as Mr. Adolf's birthday. What's up with the hurt sound? It's like the sound your characters hurt when the elite show. I don't know what is up with it. It's a very good question to ask. So, I have plenty of coal in here, so I guess I'll just cook up my wet sponges. And, by the way, if you want to see my drained ocean monument, I really did. Like, it took so long to drain the inside of this, chat. But it is pretty cool to be able to walk around it and just see, like, oh yeah, look at this. It's a regular monument. I kind of like the idea of building an interior of this. Chat, I think it's a fun one. But, yeah. I'm going to watch Sonic 3 after this. Great choice in movie, Fox Gang. So, yeah, a lot of creatives kind of operate on their own. So, most people spend emotionally, but earn logically. You know, if someone said, do you want to mow my lawn? Even if you thought mowing the lawn was more fun than, you know, like reading a book, you would still probably only mow their lawn for free if you knew them. You know, otherwise you'd say, oh, well, you know, this is work. I do. Or, you know, if your boss says, hey, do you mind if you continue to come into work, but then I don't pay you for this? You would say no. Or indeed, if your boss said, hey, I'll pay you double as much if you come and work here on the weekends, most people would at least consider saying yes. Whereas, you know, I think we spend very emotionally. Whereas I think creatives kind of mostly in reverse, but kind of like doubly so. Like, you know, they might spend just as emotionally as normal people, but then a lot of creatives earn emotionally. Where it's like, if you can get your dream project off the ground, I think I mentioned this before, chat. I make a loss on a surprising number of YouTube videos. Maybe like 5% of the videos we put on this channel. They objectively lose money on every metric you can imagine. I think the most recent video example of that was neurodivergences explained in Minecraft. And you know, so there's like two reasons for that. One of the reasons is like taking a gamble. Like sometimes it's worth potentially making a loss on something if you think you might otherwise, you know, it's like why people invest in stocks. You might lose all your money, but you might come back with more, or Bitcoin or whatever. But there's also the angle of like, some things are just more fun to make. There are videos that I know would be probably successful, but that I have not made regardless. You know what's interesting is the Ultimate Guide has kind of fallen into that silo, chat. I think the Ultimate Guide videos are like long-term very profitable to make. Like, a lot of subscribers don't watch them, but a lot of non-subscribers do. And it's one of the best ways for non-subscribers to find the channel. Because, let's be honest, non-subscribers aren't searching. Minecraft is not for kids. You know, that's the sort of video you might find in your recommended feed if you're lucky. But yeah. Also, I had to divorce Toy Cat last month. Can't believe the guy I had children with and has supported me for years comes before my parasocial relationship with a Minecraft YouTuber. I mean, I didn't realize, you know, I know I'm the one that supported you for years, so I'm very surprised to learn that we had children together, Adam Sony. I am denying these allegations at all costs. But yeah, I used to put on live stream series of you during the Ocean Monument to fall asleep. Some of my best sleep. Yeah, I like it because it's a nice chill project, which means we get more time to, you know, chill and vibe, you know, which is an important thing. You might say. But yeah, Toy Cat, you should remove the extra torches left over from the draining to light up the endstone plane. Yeah, I guess lighting it up probably is a smart idea. Yeah, there's no argument that there's no good argument for me not to do so. Yeah, you're probably right. Toy Cat wants to escape child support. Yeah, I want to be very clear. You know, this is one of the it's one of those funny things, like one of the like weird examples of how we make compromises as a society that a lot of people aren't happy with, like on a day-to-day basis. The easiest one people point to is like the police. We all agree that eventually at some point living in an anarchical society is bad. But then what it results in is a lot of people feel like there are people who tell you what to do, you know, who are there are people who are forcing the law on people without necessarily without wider consent of like the people that they are enforcing the law on. Also, nice. There we go. Let's get a bunch of sand back. We could do with that right now. But yeah, I I think also crank face. I think one of the most interesting examples of that is child support. I think actually it's one of the things that, like, in the same way that a lot of people, if you have a really bad interaction with the police, it will probably radicalize you against authority figures. Or maybe if you have a bad interaction with authority figures, it might radicalize you against the police. I think in a similar vein, if you have a bad relationship with like money in some way, or if you have a bad relationship with you know, people telling you to do things that you don't feel like are your fault. You know, like one of those examples of that was you ever get told by like a teacher or something like, oh yeah, you've got to pick up the litter, and you'd be like, it wasn't me, and they're like, yeah, but you're picking it up anyway, and you're like, I don't understand the cause and effect relationship here between why am I picking this up. Like, effectively, someone will be like, there is this thing near you, therefore it's your responsibility. And your instinct is like, no, my responsibility is the things that I do. In the same way, I think most people find collective punishment to be vile. People find the idea of, like, randomly being punished because someone else did something to be quite vile. And I think a lot of people put, like, child support in this bucket. It's one of the parts of the social contract. Like, if you have a child with someone, that you should pay for that child. And it's like a really, really rough part in theory because, you know, it is to be forced to pay for something, whether you want to or not, whether you are on good terms with the child and or mother or not, it's something that makes a lot of people go like, oh, this is an example of society, you know, punishing people in some way. But it's like, yeah, again, I think it's like that thing about how, especially, I think the younger you are, the easier it is to fall into the trap of seeing every issue from like solely how does it affect me lens, or at least how does it affect me, my biases, and the people that I see on a day-to-day basis. Whereas, like, actually, you know, the reason child support exists, even though, like, emotionally I have this strong reaction against it, is because we say it doesn't matter. You know, like, a baby is like litter. A baby appears in the world at some point, right? If, you know, if we can do our best to not make the baby appear in the world, that's great. But if the baby appears in the world and someone has to look after it, then not giving that money, not having money for a child in a capitalist-driven society where we decide that I want eggs and you know, I want to have you know, the Dr. Pepper cherry. Very delicious, by the way. Gonna be sipping this through the stream. But like you know, it's bad for the child regardless, since we just go, you know, you dropped the litter. We're fairly sure you dropped the litter, and so until you can prove otherwise, you're going to be paying for that litter. You're going to be paying for the picking up of that litter. Because the only other alternative is what we effectively already do, which is to say society will pay for all uncared for children. You know, if you think of this is my most radical opinion that I think is just true, but I'll concede it's an opinion technically. School is just a way to, like, school is just a way to take children out of their parents' hands and put them in a big daycare so that parents can work. If parents could not work, our economy would be at least 50% less, you know, like, viable, right? Or there'd be less than 50% of the workforce. But even deeper than that, it's like, yeah, it's like one of the few equalizing factors. I think going to a school where people have parents in different situations than your parents is one of the most important things. Like, have you ever seen, like, the way that, like, most animals raise their young? Like, the children just watch the parents do what they do, and then eventually they go, oh, I am old enough, I will start doing these things for myself now. But, like, do you know how crazy that would be for some people if you just, like, okay, so I've got 2 spare torches. I'll put, like, here and here. And now I can use the rest of the stack myself. Okay, but do you know how insane it would be if people were just like, yeah, I'll just watch my parents, and then 18 years later, I'll be a fully functional person? Like, it works if your parents are trying to teach you everything, but it means that your view of how the world should work is going to be entirely skewed by what your parents think is the way the world should work. My favorite example of this is, like, I don't know, if you teach your child to be religious, you know, if you teach, like, instead of teaching your child, like, if you want your child to be actually religious, like, actually thinking this is a good system and I should follow it, then you shouldn't be like, oh yes, let me teach you about this book that I have read, etc. You should be like, so, you know, go into the world, see what, you know, non-religious, what religious people are like what comes into it, see what works for you. Whereas a lot of, you know, also Sunday is Jewish Zombie Day. I have no idea what that means, full mode, but it feel offensive if I agreed. I'm actually kind of bummed. Like, there's no real. I grew up in such a diverse area, but not really black and not really Jewish. Like, very European, very Indian. No East Asians, no. Like, in my high school, one like black, like Jamaican, not Jamaican, but like, you know, Caribbean black. One Caribbean black person, and no Jewish people. Jewish people. The first time I saw Jewish people, I'm not making this up. I was like 22, flying to Colorado, and a Jewish man. I've got a story, but they fly a lot. I don't know why, it's a weird thing, but Jewish people fly a lot, as best I can tell. I see them at the airport more often than I see them anywhere else. Yeah, it's weird. There's a neighborhood in London. Now that I live here, it's like there's a really cool area, and it's cool because it's cheap. Just to be clear, like that's what makes cool areas in cities. If you haven't caught up with the times, but it's this really cool area, and then you go a little bit north, and it's just exclusively Orthodox Jews. That is my interaction with the Jewish people. Can you please stop talking about food? I want to suffer. Haven't eaten much today. Oh, it's been forever since I've done this. I try not to buy many groceries, chat. It's an insane set of logic, but I feel like I do best when I buy effectively only really cheap groceries. Because if you buy the, you know, like I spent £4.90 on a pack of bacon and some sausages. You know, I did emotional buying. That felt like a lot of money to spend in like a good way. I was buying the nice sausages and the nice bacon. But I spent £4.90 on sausages and bacon, which is like actually quite a lot. And like what I actually want is I want like a sausage sandwich and I want a BLT, maybe a couple of both of those. But like it's more cost effective to just like if you're gonna change your mind about what you want to eat for more than 2 or 3 meals in a row, it is more cost effective to only buy the cheapest groceries, so that you have your cheap meals and then you have your fun meals. Anyway, that's bad financial advice. I'm spending emotionally here. Anyway, yeah, I also, it's a high pH postcode, very acidic. A high pH postcode. Oh wait, it's a good joke, Beth Altair. It took me a while. It took me a very long while, but it's a great joke. You know, actually, is it a great joke if it took me that long? I'm gonna take back my own praise and say no. You know, Beth Altair. It's good to see you, by the way. I feel like I feel like you've been around for a while. I feel like I haven't seen a message from you a little bit. I might be crazy. It might be like 2 weeks ago. On the internet, it's hard to tell sometimes. Also, what's your opinion on long-term creative worlds? Mine's almost 12 years old. Oh, I have a long-term creative world too. I don't think anyone. It's hard to have much of an opinion on them, right? Like, what would the opinion be besides like, oh yeah, it's cool. It's lovely that you have one. I think long-term anything worlds in Minecraft are cool. I think long-term commitments of any type are cool. We're a transient species. The fact that we achieve anything, the fact that we can achieve any form of commitment is great. Whether that be to a child, to... Also, you get sausages and bacons for £4. In Canada, I think you can buy cheap bacon for that. It's like $8 to buy bacon. Oh yeah, just to be clear, I bought the fanciest sausages and bacon I could buy. So it's an Asda, though, which is like a Walmart equivalent. But it's called like their... I don't know what it's called. I think it's called like the best, maybe. Like they literally, it's like the laziest branding, but it is the highest end bacon and sausages that I could. You have not seen Beth for 17 days. You know, so moderators have access to the last time you left a chat message. You know, 17 days. That was a month ago, basically, if we round to the nearest significant, you know, part of it. Wow, been so long, Beth. Good to see you after all this time. But yeah, no, that's quite affordable, Toy Cat. You know, you're all ruining my point here. I can't believe you're like, oh yeah, only £4.97. It's crazy. I bought a 12-pound prime rib roast and sale for $100 today. Okay, you know, you're all spending too much on meat. Do you know how good sausages are? Like, you might not realize this. Like, the world is always talking about how great bacon is. But, like, my strong point, my point I would drill into the ground is, like, you know, there are multiple religions that say you can't eat pork. And think about that for a second. If there was some really good reason not to eat pork, you know, like, you know, you don't need to have a religious rule to tell me not to eat cockroaches. If there was a religion that said don't eat cockroaches, if there was a law that said don't eat cockroaches, it would have no effect on my ability to eat them. Whereas conversely, there is a law that says thou shalt not go 30 in a 30-mile-per-hour zone, or I think I feel bad actually speeding in 30s. I try not to speed in 30s, but like, you know, if it's a 60-mile-per-hour zone, you know, you're not doing 60, right? You're doing 64 at a minimum. If you're doing 64, you feel like you're following the rules, but you're not. You know, you're specifically going against them, yeah. As a result, you know, like there are some things that you can make a rule telling me not to do, and I'm still going to do them. So like think about how good sausages need to be. Bacon too, obviously. But, like, think about how good sausages need to be that, like, two of the oldest religions in the world have to be like, man, you cannot eat this. And it's a big deal, you know? It's, like, it's not one of the easiest rules. It's the most widely known about rule. It's one of the hardest sales pitches. Did you hear that? Yeah, I didn't hear that. I'd give up pork before cow. No. You're... So, like... First of all, you know, like, it's way better for the, it's way better for the environment if you want to be boring about it. I don't understand why cows are so bad for the environment. I guess because there's just so much cow. But, like, on a per, most, like, carbon emissions from food come from cow. But, you know, let's go on a pure, like, sausages are just, like, perfectly fatty. If you get, like, a good sausage, you can just have it by itself on a stick. Put a little mustard on there. That's a meal, you know. I've eaten chocolate-covered termites. They were tasty. Oh, you know, there is a law against me eating that, as far as I'm concerned, Cat. Pigs are usually kept in worse conditions. Yeah, that could be it, actually. That you need, like, yeah, that actually, you know, that makes some sense. That is a reasonable way to describe it. So, yeah, it's also, I was discussing with my kids about not eating pigs. It's probably partly the fact that they can eat corpses meat easily and quite intelligent. Yeah, I think you can make an emotional argument for it, and you can make a rational argument for it. The emotional one being that, like, they're the friendliest looking animals, and they're the worst. They're the easiest to keep poor, you know, it's the one that will make you feel ethically questionable. But also, I think it's, like, the easiest meat to get infected. There is a limit to how much pork you can bring into the UK. Actually, right now, I don't think you can bring any meat from Europe into the UK. I don't know what it is, if it's no meat at all from anywhere. But, like, you could bring an insane amount of beef into the UK, but you can't bring a lot of pork, because swine flu maybe is a thing, right? That sounds like that's a thing people have heard of. So, yeah, the fact that, you know, you need to have a binary law against pork. And, which, side note, is a very funny thing that you know, it's kind of true, right? That we find it so much easier to follow binary rules than, like, you know, let's call them analog rules. If someone says you can only eat pork once a week, it's going to be so easy to have that, like, second sausage, that second, you know, like, have a little bit of bacon wrapped around your sausage or whatever else. But, you know, like, in the same way that it's, like, you know, speed limits are very... actually, here's a good example. Speed limits, very, very analog, right? If you are driving at, you know, 60 miles per hour, and the limit is 60 miles per hour, you're technically following the rule or not. But if you go 61 miles per hour, you don't feel like you're breaking a rule. You feel like you're barely breaking a rule. Whereas, you know, an interesting example of the opposite is like a traffic light. Even, because, you know, some people make arguments and rationalize their speeding in some way, but, like, no one waits at a traffic... Oh, sorry, no one goes past the traffic light, even when you see it is clear, even when you see that no one would be harmed if you went through an intersection. I actually got stopped by some protesters today, chat. there were some protesters. I don't know what they were protesting. It seemed really important. They were passionate, and I was passionate for them. I had a car to return, and I knew I'd be getting charged a late fee. You know, so you know, in a perfectly rational society, you know, I would be able to bill these protesters for my late fee, and then I could sit in traffic knowing, oh, it's not my problem. They've got this covered. You know, in the same way, you know, like you create a baby, doesn't matter why, you just got to deal with it. You know, if you create a late fee for me, it shouldn't be a big problem. Anyway, or it shouldn't be a problem about why, or like, you know, if it was rational or whatever else. We should just say like, okay, you created a problem, deal with the problem, and we'll be all chill. I think a lot of things in life would work a lot better if you could just say that, like, okay, we have made a problem, and now it is our responsibility to fix that problem. I've watched so many shorts about Southern barbecue platters. Have you ever had it? You know, barbecue's good, right? I like barbecue. I feel like the best sausages though, like you get like a what's the word? Like a bratwurst going, or like a Krakenwurst, I think, like the Polish version. There are cultures. There are entire European civilizations, chat, that basically have existed so that they can refine the best way, you know, the one true way to turn, you know, like this sausage into the ideal snack. And again, like, you know, like some countries are like, oh yeah, we the bratwurst, it goes very well in the brötchen. You know, like some countries are basically the hot dog, right? But some countries are like, no, this sausage is so good, you want it by itself. And again, just as a plug for my good friends over at Asda, you know, use code TOYCAT to get 5% off at checkout. No, I bought these, they were called like the best. They had like, they're honey mustard flavored. It's really good. It was delicious. It was a great snack by it. But yeah, you know, like, which is interesting, the way that certain things, you know, certain meats are just like, okay, this needs to go in a sandwich, or this needs to be that. There are only really a couple of things that are like, no, this is great by itself. You would be insane. You'd have to be on a weird diet where you're trying to max out your protein macros to just be like, I'm gonna have a chicken breast by itself. You gotta turn it into chicken nuggets, effectively saying, I want bread with my chicken, and then deep fry that bread and chicken before it's any good. You know, like with beef, it's only steak that you eat by itself, right? Like you wouldn't, no one takes a beef burger, takes it out for the burger, and then just noms it. I mean, I did that all the time. That was my favorite way to eat McDonald's growing up. Did anyone else ever do this? Like, just, particularly McDonald's, but a lot of other foods. Like, food tastes better when you break it down into, like, the component parts. It took me a long time before it stopped being better that way. Because, you know, like, and they're all really good component parts at McDonald's. Thanks to my second sponsor, McDonald's. I'm eating Parma ham out of the packet. Oh yeah, that's another classic actually. Like it's deli meat, I guess, to like broadly categorize it. Cold cuts, so good, so good. Also, here in this world, creativity is key to survival, says Carter Davidson. Someone has watched the Minecraft movie recently, huh? Honestly, okay, you know, it's gonna inspire a whole generation of creatives, I guess. The whole, like, message in the Minecraft movie felt so tacked on, and, like, it came out of nowhere from the rest of the movie. But again, I think that's Minecraft doing great at knowing their audience, so I can't critique it. I mean, I am critiquing it, but, you know, I shouldn't critique it. I'm still going to, but, like, you know. Anyway, so Kat, why do you compartmentalize? Why not sponge it out without placing sand? Oh, Perrier, you should go back to the start of the stream. About 2 minutes in, I do explain. So, yes, take 1 or 2 bites out of a burger/sandwich, then deconstruct it and eat everything on its own. You know, it's funny, actually, Elliot002, I used to do it in reverse. So, like, I would, like, eat most of my patties, I'd eat most of the bun, I'd do all of that, and then I'd, like, my last bite, I'd put it all back together, just, like, feeling like, well, I paid for a double cheeseburger. I should be eating a double cheeseburger. Thank you, Jake Dodge, for letting me dodge the rest of my comment. And indeed, for becoming a channel member. Out 396, in fact. Just 4 to go now. Very exciting. Watching the Minecraft movie today with my kids. It was fun. Worth it just to see Jason Momoa scream like a 6-year-old girl. You know, I cannot refute that that is a thing that brings lots of joy and value to lots of people's lives. How is there... Oh, that's how. So I'll just put a sponge there. Feels like a waste of a sponge for 1 water, but keeps the inventory management easy. God, I wanted to devour something, anything. Am I doing my job well enough, Dasher? You know what? Maybe. If you want to... I feel like the easiest foods when you're hungry. Again, I don't know what your goals are for food. This is something we should say more commonly. Like, you know, in the same way that, like, it should be only reasonable to say, it should only be reasonable, rather than saying, like, oh yeah, here is the best, I don't know, house. Here is the best PC that you should buy. It's like, no, actually, the best anything you should buy depends on your budget. You know, be that a car, be that a... like, you know, how much do you want to spend on something is an important thing. You know, and in the same way, like, I was thinking about this today, chat. I said the number of calories out loud for a donut, and I felt a bit bad. I felt like, oh yeah, there is actually a decent number of people in the UK, at least when it came into being, because here, calorie numbers are on everything. If a restaurant has more than, you know, a certain number of locations, they have to label how many calories a thing has. And, but a lot of people, like, reacted to that news really negatively. Like, they were like, I'm not going to be able to go to Nando's anymore after seeing the calories. Like, it was, like, a really, you know, disastrous thing. But I feel like, you know, imagine having that be the case for money. Like, man, I don't like seeing prices, actually. If I see prices on things, I just start to feel anxious that maybe I can't afford it. I just don't want to see. You know, it'd be crazy. But I feel like, you know, everyone has a calorie budget, right? I'm not on a diet or anything. I'm just procrastinating on eating. Okay, so the easiest food, the best food, especially after you, like, have been lazy with it, I feel like the humanity's perfection is pizza, right? We have strived for hundreds of years to work out what is the best food in terms of ease to quality of enjoyment. And pizza is so obviously at the top of that list. We worked out it's just bread, tomato sauce, and cheese, but it's one of the best inventions. It's the only food you can order that makes everyone in a room happy. You know, like, you ordering anything else, it's tricky. Whereas all you got to do, you know, this is something interesting I've noticed from, like, when people cater events to a lot of people that they don't know well enough to, like, ask, you know, if you just order 8 pizzas, if you just, you know, like, you get me, like, if you order 8 pizzas of a different variety, every single person, every single reasonable person is catered for. You go to Domino's, you get every single one of their 8 most, you know, you get like a cheese, you get a meaty, you get a veggie, you get one without any sauce, but you can cover every single human being besides, like, I don't know, I guess you'd have to get a gluten-free one too if you knew you had a gluten-intolerant person. But it's really, really city, which is it's really easy to cater to people, is what I'm saying. If you just get pizza. And so on a micro scale, how do you cater for yourself when you don't know what you want? I guarantee if pizza arrives, you're not going to be like, oh, I wish I had, you know, I wish I had some asparagus instead. I love asparagus. When asparagus arrives, it's great. There's a lot of moods I'm in where I love asparagus. But when, you know, when pizza's there, no one's ever like, oh, it's just pizza, is it? It's like, no, pizza is here. Life is better. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Could probably eat pizza for 1 meal every day of the week. I think I could eat pizza. You know, actually, here's what you do, right? Everyone has a friend who doesn't like pizza. No one has a friend who doesn't like pizza. Everyone has an ex-friend who doesn't like pizza. I am that friend. Oh, you don't like pizza, Dasher. Oh, you are the person. I order 8 pizzas and you're like, oh, actually, I was hoping we could have ordered you know, I don't even know what else you would want to order. Tacos. Yeah, they're a classic. So, is this going to turn into a Guardian farm? No, I like that I chopped off the top of it. I feel like I've got to do something with the space. I think I'm going to make some windows to the outside world under this. But I don't want a Guardian farm. I see why a lot of people do. But it's just one of those farms. Like, I think I've got to want a farm first. Anytime that it seems obvious that I would build a farm, I can't do it, chat. It's a flaw of mine. I'll concede. It's my problem. Something I should work on as a human being. Can't do it. Also, chicken shawarma is my personal nectar of the gods. I could eat them every single day for the rest of my life. Oh yeah, a kebab is real good. Hits the spot all the time. Chat, what is your go-to? Could eat this every day of the meal food? Because like pizza, I think even bad pizza is great pizza. But like I've gotten to the point now where I have found the pizzas that will make my day better. If I'm having a bad day, getting one of these pizzas or like a good dessert are like two of the things that can bring me back to, you know, joy, you know? So I've had some of the worst food-induced gastrointestinal issues from a particular pizza place. I would say don't order from that pizza place. I have some recommendations if you happen to live in the outer inner London area, and you want to find the best pizza of a particular variety. Better believe we can do it. Also, didn't you do this already? I remember you draining Ocean Monument while we talked about religion, Star Wars, and politics, says Pout. Yeah, I never actually fully finished. I finished most of it, and then was, you know, I think this is how most projects go in this world. We get 90% done, and I deny myself the joy of finishing. Yeah, can you finish your stone castle in the TU-39 town? Oh, that's a funny one, Vartelli. Should we do democracy decides what build I finish today? That actually isn't like the worst idea. I'm not gonna do it, but it isn't the worst idea. You know, that's the highest praise I'll give it today. Also sushi, I could eat a lot of sushi. Oh, I have a friend who's really, really, really into sushi. Like I don't know, like I feel like of all the people I know, I'm the person who travels the most. And there's someone I know who is like, oh yeah, they are constantly gone. Like they asked if like we were free. Like I got like a message being like, hey, can you come out to dinner Wednesday this week? And I was like, no. Like, but what days next week work? And they're like, well, it's Monday and then we're gone. And I was like, but you got back on Tuesday. And they're like, yeah, I don't know the reason why. There's some fun gambling syndicate reasons, I believe. But yeah, that sounds like a joke, but it is not, by the way. Just to be clear, you know, you know, actually, I'll be less clear about when I'm joking and when I'm not. It'll be more fun. Also, I'll fight you on Chicago Town pepperoni stuffed crust, the best frozen pizza in the UK. Oh no, General DeLogu, don't get me started on. Okay, if you're getting a pizza, stuffed crust is the obvious upgrade. Stuffed crust is better than pizza. I would eat just a stuffed crust for breakfast every day, and I would be happy. But, crucial General DeLogu, Chicago Town Pizza have messed it up. So Chicago Town is a brand in the UK. I don't think they have anything to do with Chicago. You can tell because Chicago is a city, and in fact not a town. Also, it's not even Chicago-style pizza. They're just called Chicago Town. Don't ask me why. Anyway, so yeah, Chicago Town, they do stuffed crust pizza, and there's some of the best stuffed crust pizza, but they're not some of the best stuffed crusts. They stuff their crusts with, I'm sorry, if you've got any children around, cover your ears, or cover their ears. You could cover your ears, but then you wouldn't know what to cover their ears for. But they stuff their pizza crust with tomato sauce. Who? Why? And you know, what's worse is they have one of their pizzas. It's like their most boring pizza has cheese in the crust, and it's like, you know what you're doing. They know clearly. This is my conspiracy theory, but it's not actually. Like I think Chicago Town realistically look at the price of cheese compared to the price of tomato sauce, and are like, yeah, our pizza is good enough that people will buy it, regardless of the sauce. It's funny how many salmon. Oh wow, they really just appeared into bones all at the same time. Also, hot take stuffed crust is a worse version of the mozzarella stick. No. Mozzarella sticks are a worse version of stuffed crust. Pizza is not very good bread with some random toppings. You haven't had the right pizza, Dasher. I'm very sorry to say. You know, if only you had been in the UK. Iceland is the name of our biggest. It's our frozen pizza retailer of the year. It's funny, they put it on all their pizza packaging. I don't know which year. I don't know who measures that sort of thing. But let me tell you, Iceland know how to make a frozen pizza. They'll put anything in there too. You want a hot dog stuffed crust? Yeah, go for it. You want a cheese stuffed crust? Sure, why not? Do you like the idea of burger in your crust? You know, Iceland have got you covered. I mean, they've got the pizza crust covered. Yeah, I think Chicago Town with the one with cheese stuffed crust as well. They are very good. But Stephen R, the one with the cheese stuffed crust is their most boring. So you have to sit there in the frozen pizza aisle when you're spending too much money on pizza. You're getting the most expensive pizza usually.
Tip 1 hour of minimum wage. I'm your boss for next hour. Work hard or I fire you.
Thank
Smiley
you,
face
Un
emoji.
Perrier. Is the minimum wage £12.21 right now? I know it just went up. I didn't know it was. I knew it was. I thought it was £12.21 next year. National minimum wage 2025. That's £12.21 per hour. Yeah. So for anyone is in USD, or if you know your conversion rate, £12.21 in US dollars. That is $16. That is $16.20. Side note, pound is getting pretty strong if that can be true. $16.20, chat. If you live in rural Scotland, you're getting paid $16.20 an hour. Man, when I was a kid, I think I would have that'd have blown me away. I'd have had no conception of what I could do with that much money per hour. I remember the minimum wage hitting £10 quite late in my adult life. Man, yeah, that's good. That's good. I think I already when I was when the minimum wage was £6.80 or something. I was like, man, £6.80 an hour, 40 hours a week. If you worked out the money it would create, I was like, man. And now you can get paid double that much. It's legally impossible not to get paid that much if you. It's nuts, huh? Anyway, 16.20 is double minimum wage in my part of the US. Yeah, it's interesting. I actually, if I was to, I think I would make a strong argument that minimum wage is should be more regional in the UK. It's kind of unfair that if you're in London, where the average rent for an apartment is $2,500, you have the same minimum wage as if you live in the Welsh borders, or Sunderland, where your average rent is probably a third of that. No, Middlesbrough. I think Sunderland actually probably is quite nice in some ways. I've got to pick I've got to pick somewhere to be more mean to, more justifiably mean. So let's now fill this with sand. Actually, should we? No, let's not. Let's just start spoonging right now. And as you can see, I think by keeping it somewhat thin, we keep things good. How's the cost of living in sub $10 minimum wage states? Yeah, it's interesting because in the US, the lowest is $7.25, so that's half of the UK. But the highest, I don't know what the minimum wage is in New York City, but I think it's 20-something, right? Seattle is 20-something. Let's find out right now. Minimum wage in Seattle is $20.76. And in New York City, it is $16.50. It's the same as the UK. Weird, but higher living costs, right? So it's interesting. I think that's there's an argument. If you really want to get, it's something I think about a lot, chat, because it's one of the fundamental issues of our time. You can think about minimum wage and just say it's great, it's money going to people, right? But if you are giving more money to workers, but it doesn't improve their lives, then it's not a good thing, right? If we have a finite amount of money to spend, and let's say every time you raise minimum wage, rent goes up by the same %, then you're not making any minimum wage workers better off. You're just making everyone else slightly worse off, right? In theory, except landlords. So I think solving that problem, working out what is the way that you can achieve the best results with. Also, Ben Simmons from China. Are you actually from China, Ben Simmons? I have my doubts based on your profile picture, but I would love to know. Also, chat, we only have 2 sections left after this. I mean, I guess I still have to go further down on this one. Let's do that. I hate that Minecraft Bedrock isn't on macOS. I can't even think of a good reason why it's not on macOS. It's not that Microsoft are ooh, people will play People will buy Windows machines if they can't get Minecraft on their Macs. Like, I have 0% belief that that's what they're thinking. It could be because it's like the developer version, effectively. Chat, I went through some of the developer documentation today yesterday night for Minecraft, and it is nuts. Let me tell you, it's just bananas. There's so much. Also, I live in South US, and yeah, okay. Oh, look at that. There's a oof. That baby drowned had my sponge. So now I just place one more sponge down there for like after I'm out, ideally. Okay, can't do it, so let's just place our torch over here ideally quickly. Perfect. And we're out. Do the same over here. And I'm gonna have to do something about this side of the ocean monument, because it's like I almost wish I hadn't drained it at all. Because having just a big void of water here isn't that useful to me. But what else can I do? Any news on the 4J Reforged stuff? Says Cat Beanie. Yeah, it's in the Pioneer program is in. They're entering an early access pre-alpha, whatever they're calling it. It's a Pioneer program, so you'll be able to play the game starting on the 30th of April. But you have to sign up on their website, and they're going to pick from people, I assume, based on your demographics. Anyway, because they ask you, like, how old you are, where you live, and what your gender is. So, you know, my unethical advice would be try to pick an uncommon combination of those things. That's very unethical advice. Do not follow my unethical advice at all. But yeah, they're gonna let some number of people from that program in. I wanted to work for the last year, but in my area it's more expensive to send my kid to daycare than I would get paid to work. See, it's interesting, and Sony, because the cost of daycare. This is an interesting example of like how the world works, right? The cost of daycare should be in effect tied to the cost of earning, because the biggest cost for a daycare, or at least in the UK it is. I do not know. Your results may vary based on your locality. In the UK, the biggest cost of a daycare is the staffing, and so you would figure if it is cheap to staff. You know what I'm saying here? You know, I don't know what I'm saying here, but yeah, it's very interesting to learn that that's how it is for you. There's a decent argument. You know, I've known people who think that even if you make a net loss, it's better to send your child to daycare. You know, it's the same argument I was making before about, like, the reason I think school is really good, even though you meet a lot of bad people, is because you also meet a lot of, you know, like, interesting... By meeting a wide spectrum of people when you're young, you understand there is a wide spectrum of people, you know, that you can be, I guess, if we want to be, like, broadly idealistic about this. But it also helps you understand that there is not just a wide spectrum of people you can be, but a wide spectrum of outcomes you can attain. Do you know, like, it was really recently that people would be like, oh yeah, my father was a toolsmith, so I'm going to be a toolsmith, and so on and so forth. I met someone from the military recently, and they're like, oh yeah, my dad's in the military, so I just kind of figured I would be in the military too. And I was like, that lack of agency scares me. You know, you would want to be, you want to feel like you're in control of your destiny, right? Maybe just me. Maybe a lot of people don't. Maybe that's why we should put them in places where they can see they've got lots of destinies. So that even when you decide that you want to just do what it is that your parents or what is popular in your town does, that it works. Anyway, yeah, have you signed up, says Cat Beanie? Yeah, I tried to. I don't know. Yeah, I am going to get access on the 30th. I hope. I tried to pull as best of a string as I could, like a nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Can you get me in? So I hope that is successful. I wonder if it could be though that they're actively like, yeah, we do not want YouTubers in this game. If you put in the demographics field that you're a YouTuber, then no. But we'll find out. Daycare is what schools are for. Bringing back the topic from earlier. Exactly, Dazed and Confused. You get it. Anyway, I sent the mini mod to nursery 2 days this week, and it cost $150. Yeah, right, Cat. It's wild actually how much it costs when you think about it. You know, maybe you could make some broad claim to a link between that and, you know, wages or whatever. But yeah, I think when I wander in your Let's Play world, I find so many imperfections, it starts to feel perfect. It's the one consistent theme, Vartelli. I'll be honest, I think it's fun that, like, when people look around, they're like, this is, like, nothing else I've ever seen. Perfect. I love that there are people out there that get that feeling. Yeah, I'm very sorry about your job there, Aubrey. I think also I procrastinate long enough my stomach to give up on screaming at me. Mission success. Oh yeah, Dasher, I had this on Wednesday. I skipped lunch thinking I was gonna get dinner, right? And then my food plan was like, oh yeah, I bought this Costco membership, so I've got to eat at least, you know, 2 hot dogs this year. Then they are 15-pound hot dogs, and then the Costco membership is valid, right? It was question what you will of the logic, but that was my logic. But so yeah, after they did the thing on me where they acted like I was crazy for wanting a hot dog before they closed, or even one of the pizza slices that was sitting out there ready to eat. My heart still breaks thinking about it out loud. But yeah, so then I went home starving. Right? I've missed lunch. I've now missed dinner. The dinner that I'd been hyping myself up for. The reason I went to the store that I went to. But after that, I was like, okay, then I am going to eat something. I need to eat something, but I've got to just, like, get myself home. So, like, on the way home, I stop at, if you live in London, you might know Morley's. They reference it in the new Black Mirror episode, Bête Noire, if you want to know. That's how good this chicken is. Side note, not very good chicken. Really good chips, like perfect kebab store chips, which is like a very British category, but I digress. Anyway, so I got some food from this place, and I was starving when I ordered it, and I got home and I was just like, oh no, my stomach's done now. My stomach has just assumed it is not eating, and it is annoyed at me for eating at 10 p.m. So I would say, like, have a little snack, and then just say, okay, tomorrow you has got the food covered instead. You know, it kind of does carry forwards. At least for me, like, I'll wake up really hungry the day after, like, not eating a lot of food. And it means you get to have a real nice big breakfast, which is awesome. I can't get out of here, by the way, chat. I don't know why. So I'm gonna have to break this a little lower. Okay, oh, it's hard, but I've got it. There we go. Don't do what I did, chat. It's unhealthy as heck. Yeah, it's bad for your, what's the word, metabolism. Your body generally doesn't like it if you neglect it. I mean, most things don't like it if you neglect it. Pro tip for any pet owners out there. Try not to neglect your animals. Keep your cat's unhappiness tiny, and it won't be whiny. Anyway, what did I just come into, says Fikes Pack. You know, it never gets better, Fikes Pack. I think you came in at a pretty tame time, if I'm being totally honest with you. But yeah, it's a shame. I think one of the few downsides in my schooling experience is that, like, in the common world, right, in the real life, you know, one of the things I heard in the chanting at the traffic lights today, chat, was something along, you know, something about the, you know, like, I forget what the word is. The word Zionist, right? And you're like, oh, okay, that's an interesting thing. And it's like, oh yeah, the idea that there should be a Jewish ethno-state. And you're like, oh, what's an ethno-state mean? And what's a Jew? What really is it? You know, like, it's really easy to get this, like, warped perception of what someone is. I think this is I think it's particularly a problem with, like religious groups. Like, I mentioned before, I have a Muslim family. I think it's so easy to get, like, disillusioned on, like, what are Muslims and why are they doing what they're doing. Like, for some reason, they're, like, the one religion that is still playing by, like, 1800s rule book of, like, yeah, when we say you can't do something, Just so you know, there's a whole community of people that will shame you for doing that thing. You know, and it's weird that, you know, it's 1800s also in the sense that it's like, oh yeah, make sure you vote for the people that will try to make our religion a law of the land. You know, there's a lot of like, that's not all or most Muslims, by the way, but like there's like hearing just like some of that would make you be like, wow, there is this scary other group. But if you meet someone, you're like, oh yeah, they're in a different community. And it's, I imagine, I've never met an Orthodox Jewish person, but I imagine it's the same. Like, they're like, oh yeah, we can't use lamps on Sundays, so we have to invent this elaborate contraption that allows us to use a lamp without using it, you know? Anyway, yeah, it's a whole interesting thing. It's a shame. UK closing is so sad. Not only do most things close at 5, but in reality, a bunch of them won't accept customers and lock people out by 4:45. I went past a cafe that locked the door at 4:42, and I think it's a problem with our you know, it's power to any employee that says, if you are paying me until 5 p.m., I am out of your door at 5 p.m. I really want to say, like, power to employees for, like, saying that. But then I also want to say, actually, the way employers should work on that, right, is say, okay, we want you here half an hour early. We also want you here half an hour late. If customers can show up at 5 and you should serve them. They should show up at 5:05 and you should say, sure, if you really want to. Like, people love being out of business when they think it's probably closed, but, like, thank God it's actually open. And people hate the reverse. Like, the easiest thing would be like, yeah, pay your staff so they want to open the doors for longer, right? Also, complete before 7,000 days. It says Ash. Complete before 7,000 days. Man, yeah, I think 7,000 is going to be our big area for this one. Also, Toycat, are you going to drain the area under the monument? See, Balo999. A part of me thinks I should, but no one will ever see it, and that's why I don't want to. Mod's working hard today. Fight the power. Also, Wino Mackey's skin now, Toycat. Oh, that reminds me, actually. That's a good point. That's a really good reminder. One sec. Actually, let me get a better angle of it if I'm going to wait somewhere. I'll wait up here. Okay, that's a great reminder. Wait, one sec. Okay. I finally, McDonald's, every time I go, they don't have the movie meal. And it's like, what am I here for? I'm not here to eat. I'm here for a little cardboard cut out of a chest. And so, chat, what did I get today? Let's find out. I can't get this off, sorry. There's a little bit of plastic here. It's holding back my unboxing. After this, can we get a series called Flooding the Ocean Monument? That is a really good idea. We should flood an ocean monument. Okay, there we go. I got it. Okay, you know, I'm just gonna break the box. It's dead anyway. Oh, what's it gonna be, chat? Oh, no. I think it's one I already have. No, it's the bucket of fries. I got McDonald's fries to go on my McDonald's Big Mac. All I need now is a drink and I can have the full meal, chat. This is kind of cool. It's a little hat. So that means I now have a skin for McDonald's fries. I don't know that I'll use it, but I do know that it's very cool. Yeah, I've got to say, they've nailed this, like, collab cross-branding. Really does make me want to do the things. Yeah, look at that. Shiny Fray card. Potion. Yeah, the potion thing does seem fun. I do have to say. So I don't think I had these legal terms in my thing last time. I think McDonald's got in trouble. Had to fix it. We ordered McDonald's today and they didn't send the toys, so I demanded a refund. Yeah, entirely valid. I've heard of that being a common thing. And it's like, yeah, if you don't deliver one of the core components, then why do the rest? It's like, yeah, I feel like every time I watch your streams, you're draining an ocean monument. So, Chrissy, I'm going to level with you. That probably means you only click my streams when I'm draining an ocean monument. Which, you know, if I had to say whose fault that is it mine or yours? It'd be hard to apportion blame. But I feel like you'd have to at least share the blame with me on that. If that's okay. If you're only clicking my streams when because I think in the last 10 years, I finished draining an ocean monument somewhere in like 2015, where I finished this project. And then I came back to it yesterday. So I feel like that means that you are a once every 10 years Toy Cat watcher. And while I have you, I hope you make it to the next 10 years. You know, statistically, it's something like a 1 in 8 chance you won't. But I believe that you will. I'm looking forward to seeing you, Chrissy. More seriously, hello, how are you doing? Hope it's good. Okay, now I'm going to go to the Nether to dry all my wet sponges. I think we can use furnaces, but at this number of sponges, it just makes sense. Considering the mails are higher priced than the regular combos for the same items, they should definitely at least give you a refund of the difference. It's kind of messy, right? Okay, you know, this is... I love thinking about value all the time, because we have such weird perceptions of value right now. And one of the weirdest examples, one of the weirdest places of bad perception of value, in my opinion, is like, you know, a burger should be worth £3.59 or whatever a Big Mac is, regardless of when you get it. But actually, you know, like, if you get a Big Mac when you want a double quarter pounder, the Big Mac is still worth £3.50, but not to you, right? You have conceded it is not worth as much as other things you could have bought at the same price. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's just, we all have different senses of value. And how do you account for that when you're doing a refund? How much of a refund should you get for not getting the reason that you are ordering McDonald's in the first place? 100% seems insane. But also, like, if it's only 10% more than the non-Minecraft meal, like, they know running the promotion. Okay, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. He didn't do it, it's fine. Or she, I guess. Okay, so let's... Your TU-39 chest has weird holes. Go fix them, says Vartelli. I'm glad that you're looking around my world and you're enjoying it, Mr. Vartelli. If you enjoyed Toy Cat Let's Play World, you might enjoy Toy Cat's Toolkit. Coming out soon. It is the... I think it's the most hype I've been for a release. Maybe it's like high expectations. Maybe unfairly high expectations. Putting glass on that side when, says Cat. I think I might put iron bars there. I think that might be kind of fun. Also, watching your flat streams. Currently waiting for a thunderstorm. Rip Flatcore World. I think we're bringing back Flatcore. I think we're going to make hardcore, but you can only respawn every 10 days. that's maybe we could do like 9 life hardcore or something stupid like that. Actually, that sounds fun, right? So, Cat, today I found I can dry sponges in hell real fast. Yeah, I like the idea of 9 life hardcore. You know what? How do I... Chat, I was struggling today so hard. I was like, what should I call it? Hardcore, but we can respawn, but then we only get to respawn back 10 days ago. I feel like 9 lives is great. Catcore. Toolkit is seriously amazing. So many new mechanics. Thank you for bigging me up too, Dasher. Yeah, I'm really excited for people to play with it. I don't even know like when the right time is to like show it or anything. Also, leaning into the cat persona. Exactly. Or the cat. I won't say the other way I could describe that. Finish anything? Nah, lol. Yeah, okay, so down here, let's do it. Yeah, finishing things is overrated, massively overrated. You know, if you think about it this way, right? Everything you do in life is an unfinished project, but you wouldn't ever be like, oh, when are you gonna finish the having kids project you've been up to? Like, you've been into this hobby for a really long time and you still haven't finished it. You know, that would be very insensitive to say. You know, like Ad and Sony, you know, like why haven't you finished it yet? Why, you know, like you keep talking about motherhood or whatever, but you're not done? How can you not be done? Like, you know, like, also flat cat core. Oh, cat core, flat cat core. Cat, you know, cat flat core. Flats, cat core. You know, there's no way to make it work. It just isn't going to. Hardcore Ninecraft. Ninecraft is pretty good, actually. Ninecraft super flat. Oh yeah, Ninecraft. You know, we'll work it out. But yeah, what else do you think will be in the summer drops? Is Lego Show TV? Fun question. I'm starting to get the vibe that they really are going for. I'm starting to get the vibe that the minecart changes are feeling pretty likely. Again, it's all based on vibes right now. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of that's all you have sometimes, right? Stop breaking Toy Cat, please. I thought you were sky gluing today. Yeah, I want to get back to sky glue eventually for sure. I think we're just gonna bite the bullet and say, okay, we're never gonna make a sky glue video. Chat, if you want to know the process of what happened with sky glue, I set it all up, and yeah, we made a video from it, but it wasn't. It was like the simplest way we could have done it, and I wasn't in love with the video, and either were the audience, I guess. And so I was like, okay, we're gonna try something new. We're gonna do something great. We got all this footage, like 17 hours of footage. But yeah, sky glue just breaks people when they come to edit it. It's something I've got to work out, I guess I would say. Getting flashbacks from the desert removal live streams. Oh, the desert removal live streams, those were good. Good times, if you ask me. Should I build an ocean monument out of sandstone for my next project? Oh, I should build an ocean monument out of stone somewhere. Maybe in my end. That might be fun. Yeah, I definitely have... Yeah, actually, I like the idea of building... Maybe I should build an undrained stone one and put that somewhere. So I need to get down there just to place a sponge. But then now that we're down here, there's no way out but flying, or... I guess we could do that. See how low that goes down. Okay, that does not work. So let's fly all the way back to my bed. Wonderful. Works great. So, I thought you lost the sky glue world. Did I lose the sky glue world? Wait, you're scaring me. You're scaring me, Tyler. Why would I lose the sky glue world? So it was before Blitz Run. Igloo copy. It's not Igloo copy. Igloo Y200. Oh, you scared me. Why do you think I lost it? Anyway, let's get back. Please try again later. Weird. The world I lost was the caveman world. It's a real bummer, chat. I have a PC that has my caveman world on it, but I cannot get that PC to boot. I'm gonna have to like take the storage off it or something. Build a desert monument from sandstone and an ocean pyramid from prismarine. I remember the first live videos I watched was the global warming ice mining live streams. I'm glad you liked them, Blue Lights. I'm glad you liked them. Yeah, we did a lot of very silly stream titles back in the day. Maybe we should have more silly ones now. You know, that could very well be true. You should replace the sand walls with endstone. It would look more permanent. Yeah, I think I very well might, Balo. Sand was kind of like the first instinct. But I think maybe put some glass in there and then maybe... Oh, no, I hate... It's fine. You know, I need to pick up these anyway. Although, where am I going to pick it up to? So we'll put this on the ground and these on the ground. And then let's keep going. Put Ubuntu on a flash drive and boot from that. Maybe you can access the files that way. Yeah, I think... I just need to work out... If you're curious what it is, I boot up the PC. But it runs at like 90 degrees just to get to the BIOS. So I think the CPU cooler is broken. I think the simplest thing to do would be to take off the CPU cooler and then reapply the thermal paste, just assuming it's something like that. But it's water cooled, so it's like, I don't know, it's a... it scares anyone who looks at it. And it's mini ITX, so it's a really, really tiny build. My current PC, I just realized, is micro, but it doesn't look very micro. Did you use gravel for the clear out of the water? I think I might have used gravel in here somewhere, but I'm pretty sure it was always sand. Because the problem is gravel eventually becomes flint, but sand does not. Oh, I should have got some. I should have got some glass while I was back there. Although I think I might want to widen this. I don't know if this is a perfect square. I feel like it's not, and so it might be worth doing. Also, speaking of silly streams, we need another democracy stream. They're always pure chaos, and it's hilarious. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I've been hey, Goofy username. We should do another pay-to-win stream or so. But yeah, I like the idea of a democracy stream. It's been a very long time. Maybe we are overdue one. I wish I remember the first video for the channel. But yeah, thank you for the gifted member. If you're curious, we do not show them in our account. Just in case you haven't watched a stream in a while, or maybe this is your first stream somehow. When you gift a member, it doesn't count as a membership on YouTube's backend, because it counts as you buying them a subscription, but because it can't force you or them to pay the subscription, you immediately cancel your subscription. And so you get the benefits, and so they can watch the... my favorite new member videos are... I try to find every single spawn egg just by its texture in the old and the new updates. And my god, I thought that they were bad textures before, but it's only when I did that it solidified it. But yeah, my other favorite video is Bathing in Iron Brew. And now they have the benefits of accessing those and the green names and stuff, but it doesn't count as a member for the sake of members. Our member count went up by 1 and then immediately went down by 1, so I just don't add it. I think reasonably so. The Ocean Monument isn't a perfect square, yeah. Okay, you know, let's work out what would make it a perfect square. What's the easiest way to do that, chat? How do I count the size of this? Also, when is your video releasing? Oh, it's 9:46 and it's not out. Is it? I'll ask as a... Okay, the video's releasing right now then. Yeah. Oh no, I just worked out. Oh god, chat. Yeah, oh. Okay, I need to get better. One of my, you know, it's fine, chat. It's fine, chat. I just hit live in a video, and I'll just hope that no one notices the mistake. I won't notice the mistake, and we'll all be happy. Yeah, it's I think that's weirdly, you know, my personal, you know, recession indicator, or my personal like video struggle right now. Is I feel like weirdly, I think way more people are looking. I think we're in like one of these like positive upswings in the Minecraft cycle. I think a lot of people, because of the Minecraft movie, have either gotten back into Minecraft or watching Minecraft content. No idea what it is, but like since Minecraft Live, there's been like maybe 20-30% more people watching Minecraft content in general across most channels that I can see. But what's interesting is, you know, like it's really good on the, you know, that front as a creator. It's what you want to be able to hear and see and say. But what's interesting is, so now we're like ironing out like production issues. And one of the most common ones is like, I don't know, like having a placeholder title for something, but not really realizing it's a placeholder title. And so I think that's like gotta be the biggest life lesson is like, don't have placeholder titles with things. Just don't do it. If a placeholder title is good enough, it'll become a permanent title by accident. Also, YouTube keeps trying to make me renew my ToyCat membership. When I try, just for fun, it always says, sorry, you can't. So curious what's wrong with the video. Yeah, no, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with the video. There are 0 issues. I made no mistakes. Yeah, it's the sort of problem I guess you wouldn't easily spot, but yeah. It's a thing, I guess. You know what? One of the dumb vague production things we have to like solve now is like how files are numbered. Because like I always have like an intro file because like the intro is one of the most important bits for video. But is intro also the part 1 or is intro instead of part 1? I noticed the issue. Anyway, there's no issues, chat. If you're seeing an issue, you're imagining the issue. I'm just making up the issue for engagement. Got you. There you go. You got you too good. Yeah, bad publicity is still publicity. Do you know, is bad publicity good? Is all publicity good publicity? It's a really famous phrase, but I think it's one of the most like interesting. It's one of the most interestingly like, you know, like no one would argue it's good. If you know, was it good publicity for Volkswagen when it came out that they gassed all those monkeys? I'm assuming. Anyway, okay, let's throw some of the sand in here. We're gonna need another shulker box to fill with the sand at some point. Because we don't need the sand here for much longer, but we'll put it away just for now. So I can pick up some more. Although actually, we have this shulker box here, which has a lot of space, and presumably is aimed to be sand. What is this shulker box? I'll leave the stained glass in there, and then I'll get... Oh, actually, let's use the white stained glass from there. Chat, okay. Let's take the white stained glass out, and let's make some windows. So the windows should be centered on the monument, I think. So where that T is, that's where we want to have our first window. It's not going to work because there's a ladder over here, and I don't think you can put glass on a ladder. Okay, my idea has failed before it's even started. Maybe if we take, like, these 4 blocks. Oh, that didn't... Oh, sand is sand, right. Sand is a pain to build under. Oh, yeah, we are causing ourselves such huge issues, chat. This is why... Okay, I think I've tried this before, and I've come to this exact same conclusion. That, like, maybe I just shouldn't. So replace the sand... block. Oh, no. I'm just trying to break the sand. Okay, so then we put the sand back on top. And now we can... Oh, yeah, there's something deeply disturbing about that to me, chat. There's something about that I find uncomfortable. So I'll put a big window on one of these sides over here. I can maybe fill that with sand, too, to make that feel more permanent. Because I'm guessing it's just the low shore line. But yeah, let's find out the size of this then. So if this is 5, let's do the max, chat. So 597, 443. 597, 443. And then we'll find out what the other side is. And so Z is across, X is this way. Bad publicity is still publicity, but Tesla's stock value is crashing, so bad publicity still has downsides. Oh, I don't think... Weirdly, I think the strangest proof is that the Tesla stock crash is probably unrelated to the bad publicity. It's the... although I guess it's still related to a type of bad publicity. So now we're at 662, 374. 662, 374. So right now it's 65 blocks long, but... Oh, it's way wider than it is long, yeah. So 65 long versus 43 plus 26. That's 69, right? So I need to make it 4 blocks further back. I need to dig that many more extra blocks. Yeah, and then it would be even. Okay, so that's what we have to do, chat. If we want this perfect to be truly complete, I think that's how we should do it. There's a lot of ocean we'll drain for no reason, but it will give us a little bit of extra space. Maybe should we do it, chat? We could drain first, ask questions later. Or we could ask questions first and not. You know, it's crazy that it took almost 2 hours just to finish this today. I was like, yeah, we'll whack it out of the park, and then I'll start, you know, knocking out some, you're doing something, but it's like, no, actually, this is the whole thing. What's your craziest hope for a Minecraft update? Something you've always wanted in the game. I would love to see, something that Minecraft don't agree with. Is also, by the way, this is the last draining. The very last draining we will see. It's the last time, chat. We are... Once we have done this, the project is technically complete. A technically complete project in a TwinCat world is an inconceivable idea, but the inconceivable has become reality today, chat. Yeah! Inconceivable reality. So now we can... Also, blue lights! Thank you for becoming the 398th channel member. Oh, it's so good. After seeing your love potion, it made me wonder if McDonald's Minecraft could be your idea for the promotion meal. Oh yeah, Oraf was in here complimenting it the other day. Suspiciously. Did he sell out my ideas to the McDonald's Corporation? Yeah, I am so drained watching this, says Cheeky Vox. After a decade, it's finally complete. Yeah, let's find, what was the first Draining a Monument stream? There were some of the first streams that, like, went viral on my channel, chat. Okay, so... My Draining an Ocean Monument live stream finished, the original ones, December 30th, 2015. Wow, December 30th? What was I doing live streaming? Anyway, interesting. I, got into a bit of a Minecraft. A little bit of a Minecraft phase right there. I guess let's have this go in just a little bit more. And we're gonna drain more and more areas. And that's gonna be my new solution, chat. Yeah, we'll just slowly but surely drain little by little. So now let's do a big segment going, okay, I need to get out of here. There's no more oxygen. I need oxygen. Technically complete is the best type of complete. Yeah, so we're still missing the sand, but look at this. There's no more water on any of the sides of the monument. But this is the thing, chat. I didn't enjoy the glory of it for any number of seconds. I immediately was like, okay. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna expand the project a little bit further out. You know, is this okay? Is this how people are meant to be? I genuinely do not know. But I do feel like if I at least have this corner complete, it'll be easier for me to get around this section of the monument, at least. So, get the shovel, dig it, and we're good. This project is old enough to play Minecraft. This project is old enough to find Minecraft to be a game for babies. And to say, it's not gonna play Minecraft. That's how old this project is. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back here, I think. Yeah, it's too intense to deal with right now. I could section up the entirety of the underground of this fairly quickly, though. If I wanted to, chat. You know, if I wanted to. So I'll put a little glass here. And then I'll surround the glass of sand. See, this is the way you gotta build walls. You gotta build the glass first. I'm just gonna build these walls up. Okay, there we go. That's oxygen, technically speaking. Place the torch. And then run back over here. A turtle helmet could be good for this. I made a pact to myself that I would make my air regeneration really bad. Because as useful as they are, they encourage you to play Minecraft in a different way that I didn't quite want. There's a lot of things I kind of insist on using stock, chat. And it's a weird obsession I have. Maybe a harmful obsession. But that doesn't stop it from being a real one. So yeah, now I have this little glass window where I can see that, okay, yep, there is in fact more of that under here. But now I should be able to like run down the back of this. Oh no, there's still water there. Okay, chat, monument's not drained. I lied to you. I'm very sorry. So now we can get rid of this. We can get rid of this. Yeah, I think this little section here adds a lot of charm. Okay, so destroy the walls. Even if it might be better being destroyed with a torch. There we go. Yeah, I think this little corner that comes in here adds a lot of charm to the monument. Helps you appreciate what could be here. Also, why are guardians not spawning in those patches of water? It's a really good question, Puzzle Gal. A really good a good puzzle, if you will. Also, Toycat, you never finished answering what feature you'd like to see added to a Minecraft update. I think that I would like to see Minecraft have RPG mechanics. I think it would be... I think world progression would be great. Right now, people kind of build within a few thousand blocks of spawn in an infinite world. Wouldn't it be great if the infinite world had some meaning to most people? Even if it was just like... Because, you know, like, everyone knows when you go to the Farlands, things break. And if you get close to the Farlands, things break. Wouldn't it be cool if that was, like, intentional difficulty? Where if you go more than, like, 50,000 blocks out, your world could become harder. I also think player upgrades would be cool. Right now, you effectively upgrade your player with these tools. But even then, not actually. It's an interesting struggle that I think Reforge is having right now. I love the... I love hearing about, like, some of the design discussions they have about, like, okay, how should we deal with... and then, you know, for example, how should they deal with, you know, like, player progression? Should it be the torch that... Should it be the tool that upgrades or the player that upgrades? And they're, like, really simple questions that, you know, when you have Minecraft exist how it is, you don't have to answer. When you're building something from scratch, you actually do. Okay, so I'm going to build into another corner of this monument, I think. Chat, it is complete. There is now no water within this perimeter. We did it. We did it. We did it, yeah. And now if we build another... I think if the argument in favor of building another sand wall is I'd be able to put some glass in it in a really good spot. I think that's a good argument. I think that's a very strong argument in favor of the wall. Chat, we're gonna build a wall, and we're gonna make chat pay for it. Actually, you know, you won't believe it, chat, but you're paying for this wall. My favorite live stream was when you had us watch grass grow for hours. Yeah, I used to do a lot of very silly experiments. You know, I sometimes feel like that is like a lot of the fun. But I just found myself like, I don't know, like, people wouldn't quite get it. And it would be a struggle. But I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. So yeah, we should break all of those sponges. We should do some of all of those broken sponges. But for now, chat, project complete. But yeah, should we nudge that back a few more blocks? Hey, look at all the glowing squid ink sacks we've got. Very useful to find that many. Lovely thing about working here. Maybe we should set up like some system that allows for those all to be collected. Like having all these guardians feels like it could be useful. You know, let's kill the guardians, chat. Let's see what value I can get from the guardian farm. I've got a looting free sword, so I'm gonna get all the goodies, I hope. Let's just pick up a few. See what it becomes for me. Like, prismarine blocks are such a pain to make. Like, I think it's literally easier to just destroy a monument than it is to do anything else. So gravel on the ground. Prismarine crystals. Very, very exciting. This project lasted 4 presidencies. That is a very fun way to measure it. This is a 4 presidency project for sure. You know, let's place some of the sand. We don't need to... Yeah, we don't need to, like, put it all in there. But let's break our sponges. Then let's just start placing the sand, shall we? I think that is a good idea. I think it's an idea that's going to be hard to be against. So let's put these in there, these in there, these in there. Maybe that in there too. Then let's grab out all of the sand we can, because we're about to go crazy with it. Also, you should reward yourself for a successful completion. Get a snack. I accidentally ate 4 meals today. Again, this is the struggle with groceries, chat. I'm very anti-groceries. Which, again, it seems like the most insane position to have. And I think for 99% of the world population, it is actively insane. It is a harmful position to have. But I feel like grocery shopping is something. It's like hard drugs, I would say. Like I think you should be very cautious of grocery shopping. I think who amongst us has not gone to the store just to grab 2 things and come out having spent £35? You imagine going to McDonald's and coming home having spent £35. You would genuinely start to look at yourself and go like, oh, yeah, maybe I should stop going to McDonald's. Maybe if I don't have the self-control not to spend £35, I should not be in there. Toycat is the 1% confirmed. I'm just kidding about not liking groceries. I buy groceries. I think I spend less on groceries than most people. But it's because I min-max. I think min-maxing, if you play a lot of video games, you realize min-maxing is the correct way to do life. There are very few things in life that you can actually enjoy to the craziest level. Thank you, by the way.
Help. I'm being emugged to build a wall.
Thank you, Dazed and Confused. I have built the wall, and Dazed and Confused has paid for 48 minutes. No, probably like 50 minutes of minimum wage labor time for me to be able to build it. So now we're going to just go back 1 block this way. We'll remove the single block of endstone. We'll have to remove more later, but 1 is fine for now. And my calculations say I have to move this wall 4 blocks backwards. So this is 1 block backwards. This is 2 blocks backwards, 3 blocks, 4 blocks. This is where the new wall should be. So this would be 1 block backwards. Oh, it's so low down here. 1 block, 2 block, 3 block, 4 block. Yeah, great. I understand it perfectly. No issues. This is a place where I could benefit from. Oh yeah, this is actively bad. So now we're going to just remove the entirety of the end stone over here. We can remove the stuff in between later. And we're going to start filling it in with sand. Oh, this is satisfying, chat. Oh, this is very satisfying. It's going to fill in the middle before it fills on the outsides. But otherwise, very satisfying, very fun. Lots of good things to say. I'll put sand there so I can quickly pickblock it. And we're going to go absolutely crazy. So Cat forced to buy groceries. Min on groceries, max on takeout. Exactly. You know, I think it's Dazed's birthday gift for his birthday. Hey, congratulations, Dazed! Can you believe it's also only 3 days until your birthday? I can't. Will we get more Toycat plushies? I finally have the money, says Blue Lights. Something we've been in the process of for a little bit is we've been working on a couple of other things. I think the Toycat plushes are very fun, but I'm very aware of the fact that you can only if you do too many of them, you devalue them. So I don't want to just do like, oh yeah, it's this again. I want it to be like, oh yeah, there is a reason that you would want to buy these. Maybe the right call, maybe not the right call, but it is the call we're making. Okay, so we're gonna run this way, and then we're gonna run this way. Once I get to 1 block left, we put it down so I can continue running this way. Great, yeah, this is working wonderfully. By the way, I've got everyone's good friend, Mr. Trader, and soon I'll be able to shear him to get his leads. But in the meantime, I don't want to deal with him. So, you know, I have to stack up just to get out of this actually. Do you play chess? Thank you, Malmorius. Thank you for building the wall that is making our Minecraft Let's Play world great again. I don't really play chess. It's the sort of game I would love. I love the logic puzzle of chess. theoretically the same with Scrabble. I would love Scrabble. I think this is one of those ways that you're productive for your environment. Like, I've been very honest about the fact that I would have never gone into Minecraft if I didn't have a friend that was, like, borderline, you know, like, but semi-forced me to play the game, chat. If I didn't have a friend that was like that, I wouldn't have got into Minecraft in the same way. You know, I posted on my community post today this, like, this image of, like, when did you get into Minecraft? And I genuinely feel like the era you get into Minecraft kind of defines how you see the game. In a very, very large and very interesting way. But, yeah, Risk is better than chess. Oh, Risk is a broken game. Risk, you're showing your flaws here, Dazed and Confused. Thank you for the tip, by the way. This is... Also, my notification says long-term world. Yeah, it's my long-term world. What's the issue? Also, yeah, let's pick up that now, and then let's put a block there. And I guess we have to pick all of these up at some point. I mean, we don't need endstone, right? It's very close to 0 value, but I'm a hoarder, and it would make me feel bad to admit that. So now we make a big pile up of, say, 2 or 3 blocks. A game I've been playing a lot, chat, is Blueprints. It's a puzzle game that's kind of been keeping my attention held. But yeah, I think if there were people in my life that would like chess, I'd be really into it. There was one guy who was really into chess. Like, there was this guy in my year. His name was Mick. And by all rights, we should have gone along. He was really good at maths also. And at one point, I discovered there was a chess club going on in my school, and I was like, this is great. I'll go to the chess club. Chess is a game that interests me. And just the way this guy was talking about chess and how much you gotta play, he was like, yeah. I was like, the way that he was into it and the way that he showed his interest made me go, I want to specifically never get into this game ever. And I've not played a game of chess with any adult since that time. Chat, what I have done though, this is my favorite thing. The wool tax situation is crazy. Red Panda Express, you better believe that we now have $25 to build our grand wool. I think it would be fun to do. I should play around with the ideas more of like, what can we do in terms of, you know, like, if we do X, then you know, like for every tip something silly happens. I definitely like the kind of like artistic vibe of those streams. I think watching grass is funnier though. You know, chat, what is funnier? Is it funnier to watch grass, or is it funnier to, you know, every tip I'll kill someone? Do you go to school with Todd? Yes, I was in the chess club, Howard. I did not. I went for a phase. I think my most social phase ever was when I was 10 years old. I was in middle school, and the idea of clubs just popped up, and I was like, I should go to as many clubs as possible. I don't know where it was in my brain. I was like, you know, if you want to do things that are outside the home, going to a club is great. So I went to so many ridiculously unhinged clubs. Like, I went to a cross-country club, chat. I want to stress this to you. I went to a club, and the point of the club, right? So I showed up there, and the point of the club is like, oh yeah, what happens here is you run around a muddy field. You run around a muddy field way past the point of exhaustion for about an hour. There was no social, there was no activity. It was just, I have signed up for running with a teacher for some reason. There was like a dozen people there. It was very strange. If you start in the Notch era, you came in the Microsoft era, 90% you see it as a kids game. Oh, I think I would define the kids era as being like 2014, 2015. I think it's crazy. A lot of people saw it as a kids game, and it was only like 5 years ago it shook that reputation, and people realized like, oh no. Because now all the kids that did get into Minecraft
Just a few people left till 400 members. If you can, become a member today. Quality member-only videos.
Thank you, Playgoo, for the high-quality sales pitch. Totally agree. Very strongly agree. Please don't deport the Guardians to the end. Oh, I should definitely have Guardians in my end, right? I think it'd be a whole pain to get them there because they drown outside of water. I bet there are Guardians somewhere near an end portal, somewhere in my world. That's got to be a thing that is find outable. Where do I have... Also, this is a good deal, chat. I don't care how you see it. This is a great deal. You could turn it back into sticks and sell it. I wish I had emeralds on me. I think I would buy a lot of mangrove logs at that price. I think I might. I think I should. I think the fact that I'm not is a comment on how Minecraft wealthy I've become. Anyway, also, did I miss Toycat Math Genius Law? I was always good at maths. I don't think I'm like, I specifically, oh, actually, do you want to know, here's a story. I want to talk about this because I was genuinely sure it was on, oh, what is this furnace? What? Okay, I'll grab the wet sponges, I guess. I don't understand. No. Okay, put them over that. But here's some sand for me. That's great. We can use that sand. Yeah, no, I was in a gifted and talented class, chat. Choo Choo's Gaming, hope all is well, dude. See, wow, yeah, we were just talking about throwbacks. Choo Choo's Gaming, that's a throwback to a long ago time. Yeah, we were just talking about this idea that, like, you know, like, when you got into Minecraft really defines how you see the game. Arguably the same with Minecraft YouTube, right? Also, thank you, Spacey Wealth, for becoming the 399th channel member. We're about to hit the big 400, chat. About to hit the big 400. They flop, but they don't die. So if you put a Guardian in a boat, I could actually deport him all the way to the end. Oh. I thought you meant clubbing as in a nightclub. You know what? Clubbing sounds... clubbing as in a nightclub sounds like a lot of fun. Maybe I do mean that. Maybe I do. So after all of this, we need to now work on a bit of the wall that's going to be exactly where things are. But yeah, Choo Choo's Gaming, it's been forever since I've heard that name. It's as much of a throwback as saying something like the Gaming Lemon or whatever. Present Toycat being confused by past Toycat will never not amuse me. The worst bit is there's a real chance past Toycat did that specifically to confuse present Toycat. And you know, if so, power to him. Power to him. If I didn't want to be confused, then I shouldn't do confusing things. So this lines up with the... I'm going to make sure it lines up correctly. With the left side of the T, so it should be where it should go. Probably 10 years... Hey! We did it! We hit 400! Hey, we did it! We hit 401! We surpassed 400. Thank you, Kyrie's Corner, Malmorius, and the Spacey Wow. I'm amazed that someone else tipped. Someone else... I'm amazed that worked. Best sale... Thank you for the sales campaign. Really appreciate that, Playgoo. We did it! We're at 400 members. So hype. Enjoy your new, exciting member-only videos. A lot of channels go basically like making what was once free content members only. But what we do is we have a lot of like fun, like sorts of stuff that you wouldn't otherwise see, but you might be interested in if you're the sort of person who likes the channel. Yay! 401! We're here. So probably 10 years. Yeah, no, I know. It's nuts. I talk about this idea a lot that like YouTube is a highly transient place. Like when you're making YouTube videos or when you're watching a YouTuber and you watch them, let's say every day, it feels like they'll be there forever. And it's scary. One day they're not. It's the same with like every friend you've had where you're like, oh yeah, we meet up every day after school or whatever. One day comes where it's that last day and it doesn't feel like it is. But yeah, it's an interesting... it's interesting to see an old face come back for sure. Okay, let's build a little square out right here. So I'm gonna make sure this is the right spot. I'll build upwards from here, just a bunch of blocks. Is that correct? No, it's one to the left. So I'll get some oxygen, and then I'll try it again. Gaming Lemon's Top 5 was the best series back in the day. Such a funny, yeah, There's so many. Has enough time passed since Employee Realm review? I had a fun idea for a members only video. I think the next big one I want to do is the Employee Battle Royale. It's definitely the most fun idea I've had. Okay, so this is going to be the start of a big window, chat. And the big window needs to go quite far. Yeah, it's just too much water on this side. I think that's why I probably decided not to drain it. By making it slightly squarular. They can make the whole thing just a little bit more effective, I think. But it's okay. We'll place a bunch of blocks down here. Maybe I could, like... Okay, so... If I make it, like, 6 wide and 6 tall, that's probably big enough. Yeah, I'm amazed, chat. I'm glad we hit 400 members. That's really exciting. Today was just a chill little stream, an opportunity to hang out and chat and talk about recession indicators. But instead, you know, it's become something so much more wonderful. Thank you for making it a milestone. Really appreciate it. Like Toycat's stream, he deserves it. Thank you for saying I deserve it. So let's have this go out there. We'll say that this is the center. We'll go out 3 more blocks this way, but we'll leave those 2 there. And now we can stack ourselves to get out of here. I'm going to keep on suffocating until I do this, so I'm glad that I am. Oh, there we go. Don't like suffocating myself to death. Definitely one of my dislikes, chat. So put that over there, and great. Wonderful. Toycat loves making things inefficient. Exactly, it's my favorite thing. Inefficiency is a joy in its own right. It sounds like it shouldn't be, but let me tell you, it is. It just is. We have an election in Canada, speaking of recession. Yeah, it's very exciting. I made a video about it today. I think I'm going to re-record it. I think that is, I think it's going to be a re-record topic. But, yeah, so we'll make a big window over here. I should have done, should put the sand up before I did any of this. Toycat, how are you? I love your content. Please never give up. I'll do my best. I'll do my very best to never give up. Could you play Aria Math? Oh, actually, I'm not going to play Aria Math. This is the worst reaction to your comment. There's the new Minecraft music they put out today. I should have put that on the whole stream. Minecraft. I don't know. How do you see the Minecraft? Okay, so they just put out something today, which is really cool. It's called Relaxing Farm Morning. I'm going to put it on chat. Tell me if it's too loud. Do you have a vibe when Employee Battle Royale will happen? Just curious. No. I've been like over socially engaging myself. To the point where like getting anything scheduled is scary to me. Everyone in life, like, to arrange social stuff, you have to be like, oh, do you have any space in your calendar 6 weeks from now? It's like one of the most stressful things. It's like, oh, in 6 weeks I have to decide what I'm doing already. Okay, it's definitely too loud. Definitely too loud. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna drown low chat. I saw something real fun for the re-record. Oh, I would love to know what the real fun thing is. Okay, do share it. So this little hole here just didn't get anything going, but we can fix that. Sand going all the way up here. There we go. We can now finally place our glass on this side, and we'll just make a big glass window now, and then it will be there when we unveil the rest of this. Nice. But yeah, here's the beautiful thing about how we're doing this project, chat. We're going to make it so the project still looks finished, even though it's not. Oh, this is my master plan. This is my grand idea. How is that land? What, we can't hear you? It's too loud. Still too loud? Okay, I'll leave that in the background. Listening to Minecraft music and someone in the next room talks about being over-socialized. Yeah, well, okay, we got this. So, the music is making the stream feel like it's from a memory. Good days. Good days, chat. You know, at one point, this will be considered your good days. You look back on today fondly. Be a good time from your life. I think it's an interesting bias we have of the past. Like, you remember the best and the worst. Like, I mentioned I signed up for a bunch of clubs. I can only tell you about, like, the real rough ones, like cross-country. If I really try to think about it, I could be like, oh yeah, I think I did a rugby club. Maybe. But, like, the memories are so vague, because, like, I had some fun. One of the guys in my class was real wholesome about it. He got into the rugby thing, and he was fully like how you would behave when you learn about all this stuff happening. Is the window going to be massive? I probably should have made it massive, but this is as big as we're going. I think this is plenty of space. Okay, and then we're going to dig the sand. We're going to dig this over there, including that block, and we're going to sand this up too, and then we can slowly fill this in. Will this be a memory? Yeah, every moment you're living will eventually become a memory. And every memory is an incorrect collection of the present. So it's worth taking a second and like truly remembering this moment for how it is and doing your best to actually store that. It's the in a bathroom and emo party YouTube vibe. You should. I should play this at a party. I would love to have an emo party. Shulker in the ender chest. We get an existential in here. Yeah, no. If you want to get really existential, every memory you have is a fake recollection of the past. The further you get from it, the faker it will be. There are only a few moments you can truly remember properly, and you have to sit and you have to properly internalize everything you're thinking. And rather than just letting it go straight to the trash. You know, rather than like putting it right into the giant fire in your brain where most of your memories go, you have to think, save this moment right here, because that's ultimately how it's going to be. This is a moment that you might remember for a very long time, if you choose to remember it, or it might be a moment like many others that goes straight into the trash. Only you get to decide. Only you get to decide. Okay, let's finish up the sand for this little section. And then we'll build the sand walls just a little bit higher up, so that again, from the outside, I want this project to look finished, chat. That is my vision, that is my dream, that is my goal. You know, it's close enough to complete. I can just I'll put some end stone back up over here. Boom, chat. Look at that. I drained an entire ocean monument. It's now a perfectly complete square. We did it today, and I'm going to remember this for a long time. The time I finally came through and completed a project. I'm not going to remember anything else, and neither should you, chat. Look how great it looks. There's no random corners cut out. Although you can see the sand underneath it immediately. Maybe we should go broader and bigger. Maybe we'll drain the ocean monument some more. And maybe, if you subscribe, you can come and check that out. Alongside all of the other streams, including Democracy the Stream. It's happening in 2025. It's been a couple years, but it's coming back. We'll set up some fun rules for it. It should be good. And, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Have a great day. And I'll see you in the next one. Okay. Oh, no, I'm... Yeah. Have a good night, chat. I will too. Goodbye. Oh, go watch my video. Close saying, how long did this take you to train fully? You can watch the entire series to find out, but a good 16 hours for the first 4, plus a few hours, but 20-something hours. But it's done. Look at it now. Isn't it glorious?